Here's a quick video on the procedure for replacing a headlight and a fog light on a RT. To start off, I'm going to remove the mirror, the air deflector, this service panel, and the upper mid panel. I'll be right back. Okay, to get the top side panel off, underneath here, actually you noticed I pulled off this panel over here. Just one little push pin and it pulls out. There's a screw here, screw here, and a screw right there. Note that these two do not come out. They're safety screws. There's just, let's see if I can pull it off. There's just two little tits in there that pop in. So don't play with those screws. A little Spyder 101. You notice I got a baggie here. Every time I take a part off, the screws that go to that part go in a baggie. When you put it back on, you run out of screws, you know you're done. You don't end up with leftover screws wondering where they go. Okay, so I've got the side panel off, mirrors, air deflector. So next is going to be the front fascia. That has a screw right up here, screw here, both sides. And then, I don't know if I can get at it, but there's a screw on each side here, and then the thing just pulls straight out. Be right back. More Spyder 101. Fill these gaps with rags or whatever, so when you're taking the screw out, it doesn't fall into the black hole of an abyss, because you will never find it. Okay, the next step is to take the frunk off. You got a screw right here, same on the other side. You got to take this guy off. It was just sitting here like that. This comes off. Two light plugs need to be unplugged, same as the other side. And your hood latch. Then for 1330, so 2014 and up, you have a cold air intake. So there's a hose clamp right underneath here. You need to undo that so that you can take the hose off the air box. Okay, once you got the top undone, what you're going to have to do is raise your Spyder up enough to get underneath it. And there's a 10mm screw here, closest to the frame, and another one here. That's the only thing that you need to take off the bottom, unless, like, I have a aftermarket Spyder Pops skid plate, so there's a couple screws I need to take out. But if you just have the factory skid plate, then all you need to do is take these two bolts out. They're 10mm. Like I say, you're going to have to get it off the ground. I've probably got it off a good foot or so. But I also have a nice handy jack or lift. Okay, just wanted to point out a couple things. First off, take the ones off from underneath first. Those shouldn't be the last ones there when you're laying underneath the bike. So try and get your bike up first. As you can see, I've got a lift. So that's how I've got it up. Another idea is to use like car ramps. Drive the two front tires up on a car ramp. Hopefully that's high enough that you can get underneath it to undo those bolts, or some other kind of motorcycle lift that's going to be sturdy enough to hold the bike. Okay, so now the frunk is off. Going to do the fog lights first. So just behind the panel here, there's a cap here, it's sitting in behind here. There's just a tab up here you got to push up, pull the cap off. Same on the other side. And once I get the caps off, I'll let you have a closer look. Okay, so I got the cap off. if you just have the OEM lights, they're going to look a little different than this, obviously. These are LEDs from Trike LED. Just give it a twist. Same with the OEM, give it a twist. Just pops out of the housing like that. And then you got your plug. No big deal. Okay, I'm going to change these out and I will get back to you. I'll let you have a quick look at these LEDs too. These are the old style, which they don't sell anymore. I don't know if it's because they fail as much as, I've already placed a couple of them, but I did get them from Spyder Zone, and these are Trike LEDs that have a lifetime warranty, so they just keep sending out new ones. But the nice thing is, so you notice the difference in these ones. These are called the 360 degree LEDs. So obviously they're all the way around. A lot more coverage. And since they don't sell the regular ones anymore, they sent me a nice brand new set of these. So thanks, Spyder Zone. Okay, so the fog lights are in, so now I'm going to take off the headlight assembly. For that, you're going to have to take this screw off. This is how you adjust the height of your headlight once it's mounted. So you got to take this screw nut off and pull this out. And then the headlight assembly has 4 bolts, one right up here, one down here, one here, and then one way in the back there. You're going to need extension for that guy. And then you gingerly pull it out and unplug it. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I got the headlight assembly off. Just grabbed my new LED. You can see this style has a ballast on it. It's all got to fit in that little hole there. So it is a pretty tight fit, but it does all fit in there without having to cut anything. And then put the cap back on. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the headlight replaced. Now I'm just going to mount the front again. I'm just going to show you a little something. Notice how I got these headlight wires taped up there. Just a little safety precaution to make sure that they're on top of the frame when you put it back on. There's nothing quite like getting this thing 90% mounted and finding out that one of those wires is underneath and you got to take everything off again. Just talking about experience from a friend. Just want to give you a quick tip about replacing these lights. The plugs that are in the fog lights can go in upside down, one way or the other. So when you're going to put your front back on, just get like one bolt in, plug in your lights and make sure everything works before you mount the whole thing and find out your lights don't work. For whatever reason, the plugs can go in either way. I happen to have both of them upside down, so it was a good thing I only put one bolt in. But it's just a tip when you're putting this thing back together. That's about it. I'm going to slap it all back together and go for a rip. Hope you enjoyed the video.